Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you're new, thank you for checking out my video today. So, in today's video, I'm going to be going over a topic, one that's been going around the zombies community quite a lot recently, and has really picked up a considerable amount ever since we saw the little teaser for the new DLC Revelations after the Grog Easter egg, and also a few other updates which I'm going to go through in the video. So, this is basically me going on about, I suppose, what I believe, what could happen, how it could happen, and just a few of these things of old zombie maps returning in Black Ops 3. This is just me going over the things that I expect to happen, things I want to happen, and just giving you guys a rough overview of what is possible and what isn't. But just before we do get into it, these pictures that you're going to be seeing, that I'm going to be going through, like the one you see on the screen right now, they are not official pictures, okay? Nobody get confused by this. These are not official. This is not from the actual game itself, alright? This is me designing them, alright? This is just me making things just to show for you guys in this video and show you what could happen and things like that. So do not go away thinking that these are official pictures from the game, because they are not, okay? I'm not going to repeat myself on that, just remember it. Right, so first things first, there's a big rumour that apparently because of the recent update that they had on the PS4 of this maps, like showing the maps all on the screen, as you can see, they decided Treyarch to move Grog up to the top row. So instead of having 4 on the top row, you now have 5 on the top row. Whereas before, Grog used to be underneath the giant, and it used to be 4 on top and 1 at the bottom. So people believe that because they moved Grog up the top, it would be a bit strange if Revelations itself was just literally all by itself underneath the giant. Fair enough, I can see that aspect and I can understand where people are coming from. It would look weird, I can agree with that. It would look very strange just to see one little rectangle on its own with nothing next to it, because it just doesn't have a pattern to it. So people think because of this there's a chance of seeing some other maps coming along as well alongside it, so that the whole of the second row would be filled up as well. So again, very possible. It would make a lot of sense, considering it would look strange and, in my opinion, stupid just to have Revelations by itself on the bottom row with nothing next to it. Whereas if they filled up all the other spaces next to it, it would make complete and utter sense for them to do that, and then it would look correct. I would understand that. I would see where they're coming from. Fine. Yes, that is possible. Now, this is where things are going to be a bit sort of a guesswork, if you like, and I'm just saying what could happen at the moment. So Revelations itself, people think it's just a map, right? Everyone thinks that the last map itself is going to be called Revelations. Fair enough, that's probably the case. I agree with that myself as well. I think that the last map is most likely Revelations, like they've already said. But there is a possibility here that people are not looking at this quite the same way as you would think. Revelations could possibly be not just a single zombie map name, but a possible pack, if you like, of zombie maps in that one. Now, I know people are going to say, whoa, hang on a minute, but DLC 4, that can't be the case, because, you know, we've got some multiplayer maps coming in that, so how would that work? Right, so I know the tradition is for Treyarch to just release a map pack which would have 4 multiplayer maps and 1 zombie map. They've always done this, other than the one case with Moon, where they released 1 new zombie map, Moon, and 4 remakes. That was the one case where there was no multiplayer maps in that. I don't think that's going to be the case with this one. But what could possibly happen, which nobody's even touched on yet as a possibility, is that there will be 4 multiplayer maps in this map pack. But also there could possibly be 4, maybe even 5 zombie maps with that map pack as well. Nobody's ever looked at that. Maybe Revelations is possibly a second side map pack with DLC 4. By side, I mean as in they're in the same map pack, but they possibly have different names for different parts of it. That's just something that I think could possibly be the case. I mean, it's very unlikely, and I can't really see Treyarch doing that, but I had to mention it anyway, because I think there could be a possibility that could happen. But I don't believe that's the case. I believe that Revelations is the name of the last final DLC map, but, you know, anything can happen at this point. Absolutely anything. So I got to get that one off, and everyone needs to understand that. Now, right, so everyone goes on about the fact that there could possibly be a DLC 5. Okay, now, I don't want to crush anyone's hopes or anything here, but have we ever seen in a whole lifetime of any Call of Duty cycle a 5th DLC pack? Have we ever seen it? From World at War, where they made 4 map packs, up to now, have we ever seen a single COD game that's ever released 5 DLCs instead of 4? And you cannot, in this case, count single maps by themselves as either free or just, you know, really cheap price DLC pack, because that is not a proper map pack. That is one map. It's not a pack of maps. So you cannot count that as a DLC 5. But no, we have never seen it, okay? Now, there's a possibility that DLC 4, especially now as it's finished, will be Treyarch handing out the 4 multiplayer maps and 1 new, you know, zombies map, Revelations. And then later on, they would make a 5th DLC pack, which would have remakes or something in it as well. The thing about this is, by the time you have this map pack come out, you're in September. It comes out on the PS4 only in September. You then have October, and it will come out on the Xbox and the PC in that time. Then you go into November. This is when Infinite Warfare is coming out, I like to point out. The new COD that every member of Activision and that want you to go and play. So, would it even make sense for Treyarch to release a 5th DLC pack in the same month as Infinite Warfare coming out? From a business point of view, no. It would not make a single bit of sense, because Activision want you to go and play the next COD. They want you to go and look at the new Call of Duties. They want you to look at Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty 4 Remaster. They don't want you staying on Black Ops 3 really anymore. Yes, they still want people to play it, but they don't want people to sit there and just play on it exclusively. They don't want people to do that. They want them to buy the next COD, because, you know, that's where they get their money from. And it makes perfect sense that they want to do that. It is the business way of doing things, and I can understand them trying to do that. If Treyarch released a 5th DLC pack in the same month as Infinite Warfare coming out, it, to me, would seem a very risky thing for Activision to even slightly look at and take on, because that would encourage more people, in my opinion, to stay on Black Ops 3 and to play more zombie maps on Black Ops 3. Everybody wants remakes, right? So everyone's going to stay on Black Ops 3 and just play that, and nobody will give a toss basically about Infinite Warfare coming out. And so then Infinite Warfare is going to lose on money, and it's going to do badly as a result of this. Activision would not do that. They would not take that chance. And I could perfectly understand them doing that. It makes full-on sense that they would want to not take a chance. So I can't see them doing that. Now, I know Treyarch say that they finished DLC 4. That's fine. Treyarch at the moment seems to be doing, as some people would say, nothing. I don't think so. I don't think Treyarch would be doing nothing. That would seem stupid for a company to waste their time doing absolutely nothing. No company ever would waste their time doing nothing if they can help it. So I would see Treyarch most likely either creating remakes of old zombie maps, possibly even multiplayer maps, to release out solely as either free DLC, which would make complete sense if they did that, over a course of period of time. Possibly they'd spread it out, just because then it, as you know, there's a gap, because there's 3 years for Treyarch to their next game. So if they release these remakes of maps over a period of time on Black Ops 3, then it would mean we would get something new for Black Ops 3, like a new zombies experience, but it's a remake of an old one that we're going back to. So we have something to look forward to play while we're waiting for Treyarch's next map. It would make sense that they did that. I could see them doing it. It's possible. Or what they might do is, as soon as DLC 4 releases, release all of these other remakes of maps pretty much straight after. Now, I don't know if they would do that straight after it comes out on the PS4. I couldn't see that happening. But once DLC 4 releases on the the Xbox One and the PC, sorry, then I could see them doing it, because there's no need to wait. It's fine. And then everybody gets them straight away, and I could see them doing that. That would make full-on sense, and plus it would not be part of the season pass, right? So there would be no rule about it coming out on the PS4 early above Xbox and PC, because that is basically a season pass thing at the moment for Black Ops 3, that the DLCs come out early on PS4. So I wouldn't see that deal still happening. There's a possibility it would, but I wouldn't see that happening. So then it would make sense for them to release a 5th DLC pack very quickly afterwards, with all these remakes and things for everyone to play on. And it wouldn't interfere with Infinite Warfare's release, because you would have enough time to play these maps and get on with them and, you know, enjoy them and so on before Infinite Warfare comes out. That would make complete sense if Treyarch did that, and I'm sure Activision would be fine and roll with it. Whether they would make you pay for this 5th DLC pack, or whether they bring it out for free, is a bit unknown to me. I mean, knowing Activision from their point of view, they would most likely make you pay for it, because Activision like their money. But Treyarch possibly wouldn't. I don't know. You probably might have to pay a small sum for it at least. But those are the possibilities of what could happen, and that's just me going over it roughly. I mean, don't forget, I don't know what's going to happen, so don't take any of this as a definite, it's going to be what it is, it's going to happen. I don't know, it might not even happen once. There may not be even a slight remake, it may just be the new map and that's it. I don't know. I have no idea what Treyarch are going to do. That's their choice, their plan. They can choose what to do with their games. So it's just what could happen. Right. So nobody knows how many remakes will come out with this DLC 4 or 5 or whatever you want to call it. Nobody knows how many remakes will come out. People presume it would be 4. I can understand that, but to be honest, it could be more. So people claim that this screen of maps, once you get down to the bottom like this, it's full. You can't go any further. That could easily be remedied. Come on, think about it. You can scroll down. There is such thing as scrolling down. So they could easily have more maps underneath and just, you know, keep scrolling down and you get all of them in there. I can understand them doing that, because then everyone gets everything they want. But I don't know whether Treyarch would release all of the old maps. To me, that seems like a really, really heavy task to go and remaster every single old map except for the Giant, because that's already done, or Degrees, whatever. But to remaster all of the Black Ops 1 maps and all the Black Ops 2 maps at once, that to me seems like a really heavy job. I mean, I know it doesn't take too much to go and remaster these maps. You just port it across, change a few of the details and the textures, like they did with the Giant. You know, they changed the snow type and made it a bit more darker and on fire and all that crazy stuff. I mean, that's all they really need to do with a lot of these maps, but still, they'd have to add in all the new features like gobble gun machines, possibly perks on other maps, and you know, you got to go and do this for all of those maps. And don't forget, there's a lot of maps to go through there, a lot. That to me would take a very long time. I would be very surprised if they bring out remakes, they bring out all of the old maps from Black Ops 1 and 2. I can't really see it happening just because, well, it's a really big task. I mean, it's possible, don't get me wrong, it is possible, they could do it, but I'm not sure they would want to. So, what would Treyarch do if they didn't bring back all of the maps? I myself think that they would either bring back the maps that are really important and fit in with the storyline, in particular Black Ops 3, or they just bring back fan favourites. I'm kind of more tempted to go to the whole of the linking in with the Black Ops 3 storyline point of view, because that to me makes a lot more sense to see something like Mob of the Dead and Origins make a return, because those two maps link in specifically with Black Ops 3's Zombies storyline. They could bring back things like Ascension, Call of the Dead, Shangri-La and Moon, which have precisely their own storyline, which again is before Black Ops 3's time, but could work with Black Ops 3. Or they could bring back some of the Black Ops 2 maps like Transit, Die Rise and Buried. I find that one a bit difficult for them to bring back just because I know it is what happens before Black Ops 3 if you think about it, but I don't know, it seems a bit strange to just bring back 3 again, if you see my point, and then if they brought back Mob of the Dead and also Origins, then you've got that same problem with one map being on the bottom again, so it wouldn't work. So, I don't know, I can't see them doing it like that, but again, it's just what I'm thinking and what could happen. But anyway, moving on aside from all of that, what could it be like if we had remakes of these old maps? I think it could be absolutely awesome. I think it could be a real big deal for zombie fans. In particular me, I'm actually quite excited if they brought back these old maps from Black Ops 1 and 2 and put them into Black Ops 3. There's so much in Black Ops 3 that you could implement into these maps to make them way better, way more exciting. It's just much nicer to play. That honestly, I think it could be a huge difference to the maps. Some of them in particular, it could make a big difference, and it'd just be awesome to see that. But what could be different about all of them? I think if they did bring them in, there would be gobble gun machines on each of the maps. It would make perfect sense that they would be on there. Again, I know there's the whole Black Ops 3 storyline thing, but again, these are just remakes that they're going to bring in for fun, pretty much. So, again, these are remakes that are just for fun, you know? So, it makes perfect sense that that would be the case. We could expect, obviously, better textures, better frame rates, better looks of the zombies, and all sorts of things. You know, it would be massively improved on each of the maps, and it would make sense for them to make them better rather than just porting the same ones over, because then why would people want exactly the same things just on Black Ops 3? I actually want to see some changes. I don't just want the same things in there without at least a bit of a change, a bit of an addition to it. And I know a lot of people would say the same thing. It makes like perfect sense for them to go and add things in rather than just bringing off something from before and not changing it. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. You could just go back onto like the old games and play them for that. So I can't see them doing that. But it could make a big difference to some of the maps, and I will go through that a little bit later on. But now what I want to show you is what it could look like if you saw Black Ops 1 and 2 maps on the main menu. So at the moment, you've already seen this, as you've been watching it for the rest of this video at the moment. These are just the maps from Black Ops 1, as you can see inside the main menu bit, with Revelations at the end, so that's what they would look like in there. Obviously, Deriz is not in there because they've already done that as the Giant, so it wouldn't make sense for them to bring back Deriz again, in my opinion. I mean, they could, but it would seem a bit stupid. Even though I know Deriz has got like a different story, kind of, to the Giant, but still, it just wouldn't make sense. And then this is what Black Ops 2 maps would look like in here. Obviously, you've got Transit and all of its little maps. Nuketown, Die Rise, Mob of the Dead, Buried, and Origins. And that's what it would look like on there. Obviously, they might change it so there's none of this like broken glass bookmark thing all over the screen. Fair enough. But that's what they would look like. And obviously, if you had them together, then you would be able to scroll down and you'd see these underneath Black Ops 1 maps. And then either that would be at the top or it would be at the bottom. I don't know which way around they would put it. I just put it at the bottom here in particular because of Origins and Revelations. They have a sort of same feel, similar idea going on from what I've seen so far. So that's why they're like that. But yeah, that's what could happen. And that's just what they look like. Now, this image here is specifically me looking at maps, because people think that if they're going to bring out, you know, remakes in DLC 4, there's just going to be 4 remakes and a new map, Revelations. So the maps in here that I think really should come across. Now, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty difficult because I had to choose just 4 maps, right? And I know for a fact that one of these is not a fan favourite. In fact, it's one of the most hated maps ever for most zombie fans. Fair enough, but let me carry on here. So, these are really, I'm going through the things that I expect would come along and things that would benefit from a remake, if you like, if I had to choose 4. And first of all, it's pretty obvious to me, if they were going to bring back some remakes, they would bring back Mob of the Dead and Origins, just because they fit in with this whole entire storyline of Black Ops 3. Why wouldn't you bring it back? Why would you bring back something that doesn't fit in? It just doesn't make sense, right? You would bring back things that make sense. You would bring back things that fit in with that story. So, bringing back those 2 maps specifically, I can completely understand them doing it, and it would seem like the thing that would be a good idea. Plus, those 2 coming back into Black Ops 3 could really benefit in some ways from the remakes. Like Gun machines being added to them would be awesome. Better textures would work, especially in particular for Origins in regards to frame rate, with the giants walking across the map. I remember on old gen that used to kind of really hold it back quite a lot, and you would get the odd occasional frame rate issue when a giant would come along and things. I mean, they did a pretty good job of it to make it work, but yeah, it wasn't perfect. And them bringing it into Black Ops 3 with like the whole new frame rate being able to work and the new zombie movement systems and things like that, that would work so well with Origins. And it would just be perfect. So it would be a good combination to really improve that map. Also, the effects and things would be a vast improvement, I think, as well. Mob of the Dead, again, I think could easily benefit from a remake. um, the textures on that map, I know, were scaled down massively to look blurry and stuff because of how big it was and how much there was to load on it. So putting it in Black Ops 3, you could instantly have a really glorious HD looking map, which would be beautiful to see, and I think would really make people come back, because those two maps are two of the maps that people really want to see return. They are the two maps that people really loved, and I love them too. They're like my favourites pretty much. And they would be awesome to see those return and play those on the new consoles and stuff, and it would just be so much better. So I could see those two coming back. It makes sense. I'm going to jump quickly to Moon, and I'll come back to Shangri-La. Why I think Moon should benefit from a remake? Well, first of all, we've seen a lot of teasers for Moon, right? Practically half of the DLC maps have just been going Moon, 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 Moon. We've also seen that Moon loading screen change and all sorts of things. Moon is a mixed zombie favourite. Some people love it, some people hate it. Basically, you either love it or you hate it. It is an Ivy map. I don't think there was ever a huge love for Moon, but I know that people kind of like the idea of it. But what could it benefit from in Black Ops 3? Personally, it could benefit from a few things. Obviously, again, you've got the Gobblegum machines, new perks being put in, like Widow's Wine and Cherry and stuff. The textures could be massively improved on it. I reckon you could even change it so it looks more like a rubble and things as well. It would probably be a lot smoother to play on, and the thing that really, really could be changed and have a huge benefit on the map is the anti-gravity system. So Moon's anti-gravity system, it was okay, but the problem with it was just really, really uncontrollable in my opinion. It just went all over the place and it didn't really make sense what was going on with it, and it just felt strange. It didn't feel like the right sort of anti-gravity mode that you would normally expect and use in a game and things. It didn't feel right. I know a lot of people that say that the anti-gravity system in Moon just isn't good at all. It just feels wrong. Now, I understand that Moon's obviously in an anti-gravity zone, so it makes perfect sense to have that. But if you know about the Rising Drug, they brought back the anti-gravity system in the place where you create your bows and that. And when I played the Rising Drug and got that anti-gravity system, it felt right. It felt like they have really learned from their mistakes with the anti-gravity on Moon and actually really gone and tried to make it work this time. And it really, really did work. And the fact that you could even wall run and things as well in that place made it even better. And I think really that could be a huge, big change for Moon. Moon, having Darius and Joel's anti-gravity system, would be a great map to get used to again. It would be a great map to play again as well. And just, it would be a much nicer anti-gravity system to have in that map. And it would actually be controllable as well. You wouldn't fly off miles either like you normally would in Moon. And if they added in the wall running aspect as well, that would be pretty sweet, and I'd love to see that aspect come in. I'm not sure precisely how they would do it in Moon, but they could do it. It would be a bit weird considering most of the places are quite small for the walls and stuff. I suppose in the pyramid area it will work. I'm not sure about many other places though. But if they did do that sort of stuff for Moon, I think it would be an awesome change, great map change and so on as well. And I know people love the whole belly flopping thing, and I loved it as well, but I've got to say the slide for me really made a change for zombies, and I actually do prefer the slide in the end over the belly flop, or the dolphin dive, whatever you want to call it. And it was better, in my opinion, having a slide in there, and I think it would be good to have a slide on Moon. It would actually make a big difference for having a slide on Moon. You could really get out of a lot of tight situations with the anti-gravity system as well, especially if it's with Horizon jars rather than Moons. It would make a big difference. There's a lot of changes that could benefit from Moon, and I think it'd be good to see a remake of that. So I don't know what other people would think about that. Some of you might think there's a bad idea seeing Moon come back and change, but I think it would be a good one. Lastly, moving on to Shangri-La. Now, this is kind of really, in some ways for myself, but I know a few people might agree with my choices here. So, everyone hates Shangri-La pretty much. I actually quite like the map, but most people hate it and think it's like the devil's grace. um, I can understand why, and it's a hard map, Shangri-La. It's very, very difficult. It's not an easy map whatsoever. But the things that it could really do if it came into Black Ops 3, like how they could change it and make it so much better, there's quite a few things that they could really improve on. I think, first of all, when you go out of the map on Shangri-La, like a no-clipping view, there's a lot of that map outside. There's loads that isn't actually in the map. The map itself is tiny in comparison to what is outside of it. I think Treyarch, if they did remake Shangri-La, they could either add a little bit extra onto the map to make it a bit more big, reasonable size, or they could just, I don't know, make it feel like that outside of that map is not just wasted, not just sitting there for no reason. Make it actually useful, if you like, something that would actually be good to see and also help you at the same time, or something like that. Just something useful. I think Shangri-La could really benefit from that. Now, something that really could benefit Shangri-La is the movement system. Right, so if people didn't know, Black Ops 3 Zombies, they completely changed the zombie movement system from the old games. They're very different. So, how could this benefit Shangri-La? Quite a bit. It could really, really benefit Shangri-La a lot. So, the Shangri-La zombies are pretty fast, and they spawn very easily, and it's not an easy thing. Plus you've got those shriekers that sprint after you and scream in your face, and you've got the napalms that can sometimes sprint as well. I think you could really benefit from having a remake of that with the Black Ops 3 Zombies movement system. So Black Ops 3's movement system to me feels a bit more simple compared to the old one. You find that the zombies seem to walk in a reasonable way, and when they do sprint, I don't find it a problem. I kind of don't find them very fast when they sprint or when they run at you or whatever. It's normal, so I can understand why people would prefer the new movement system on a map like Shangri-La, where a lot of these zombies are quite fast and very dangerous, and you don't really get enough time to turn around and shoot at them again, because you've got to worry about the ones that are in front of you as well as the ones that are pretty much right on your back. So I reckon that the new movement system would be awesome in Shangri-La, and it'd make a huge difference. The slide again, I think, would be a great addition to Shangri-La. You could get out of lots of tight situations with the slide on Shangri-La, and I think it would be a great addition. There's not many other things that I can think of that would really benefit Shangri-La other than the new perks, of course, like Widow's Wine and Electric Cherry. The Gumballs, again, would be a great addition to Shangri-La and make it a lot more simple, I reckon, than it is. Otherwise, there isn't really that much more I can see that would benefit the map. I suppose they could do something to make the Pack-a-Punch system a bit more reasonable for multiplayer. Somehow. I don't know how they would do that, but I could see them doing something that would make it a bit more reasonable, because, let's be honest, if you play Shangri-La online, you're never going to pack a punch unless the other people know what they're doing. It's just a fact. You never can, because nobody knows that you have to go and stand on a bloody like little trap things at the same time to get that monkey statue to stop, and it just doesn't really work. But if they could update that, that would be cool. Last thing for Shangri-La is the updating of textures would really benefit that map. That map's textures to me look really old, really fuzzy, blurry, flat. I think if they put it into Black Ops 3 with the like new texture system and stuff like that, and the fact that you can load more now as well, it would really look a lot nicer. It would stand out a lot more, and I think it would really, really, really make a difference to looking at that map compared to what it is now. Don't forget, Shangri-La is pretty old now, so it would make a difference in my opinion. But anyway, those are just my opinions of what I would like to see mostly come back and what would make sense to come back for remakes. Obviously, there are things that I wanted to put in here, and some of those were Kino I wanted to put in here, but I just couldn't find enough to make it a benefit over others. Ascension, again, I wanted to put in here, but again, I couldn't find as many benefits. Buried, I actually wanted to put in here, but there wasn't enough. It's mostly just benefits that really made me want to see these in here. And there just isn't enough on those other maps to make it override these, really. So anyway, those are just the 4 examples of what, if there were only 4 that could come out, would be. Finally, for the picture point of view, if we had more, and I'm limiting it at the moment to just this screen because people seem to claim that you can't scroll down for some reason, that I'm just going to literally limit it to just every map would be on the screen like this, and you could only have these many maps on this screen. These are the maps that I would choose to come back. Out of all the maps from Black Ops 1 and 2, these are the ones that I would choose to come back right here. Now, there's one map that I'm sure people are looking at right in the bottom left hand corner and thinking, you are joking me. You want to see Transit come back. Right, let's explain this a little bit. I hate Transit. I really hate it, just as much as everybody else does. In fact, I don't think I've even been on that map for so bloody long, other than I had to just to get some gameplay up for like some of it recently, but otherwise I never go on that map because I just cannot stand it. It's awful. It was a real letdown, especially after something like Moon. So yes, I have some slight explaining here to do. Why have I put Transit in there? Why I would like that to come back? In theory, I don't want it to come back, but Transit, again, I have to look at it from a benefit point of view of how the map could be better, benefit from the new update, the system and stuff like that. Right, so Transit itself is a bit of a laggy mess on old gen, right? It's too big for old gen, and there's so much fog that it still makes it a problem. How could it benefit from that on the new systems? So they can load more again, right? So Transit can actually load on this system properly. So it wouldn't be a laggy mess. It wouldn't bug out like on the bus while you're driving along, you get flung out for no reason. It wouldn't have that problem, and I think what they could do is, instead of removing the fog, because I know a lot of people want it gone, and in some ways I don't, but if they could just lower down the fog so that you could see a bit more through it, rather than it just being completely black as hell that you can see nothing, it could really benefit. I think that it would actually give a bit more life to the outside of the map, because you know, transit, you just got those specific places that you visit, and that's it. um, but if you could see more of the outside of the map that is there, that exists, it would be good, and I think it would be a huge change for transit. Again, there's other things that they got rid of, like the jet gun upgrade would be nice to see back. Um, the bus route map would be nice to see back. Possibly adding some new buildables in there that would actually be useful. Sorting out that damn pack-a-punch, please. Please sort that out. Rather than putting a damn fan down there to power it up, can't we just buy the metal door and then it will open up forever? That would be much nicer. Getting rid of building the pack-a-punch as well, and the power switch would be nice, and just having them built for us rather than building it, because that was stupid in my opinion. And just, there's loads of things. I could be here forever going on about transit and all the different things. You could really benefit from this. Also, adding in gum machines, new perks and things could really change that map. Possibly not getting rid of the lava, but toning it down a bit, if you like. Trying to get rid of it a little bit, but not completely get rid of it. Because I can understand why lava's there, but keep bits of it. Finally, in regards to that map, denizens. Right. Now, I hate the denizens. If you want Treyarch at all to make the map outside in that foggy area reasonable to look at and investigate around, get rid of the denizens, because by the time you have one on you, you're not going to look at what's around you, you're not going to investigate all that map that exists, because you're too busy trying to get away from those little potato things scratching your face off. Get rid of the denizens. It would make a massive difference to that map. Getting rid of them. I know there's supposed to be like a zombie thing that exists. Possibly you could have them as some sort of dog round, I don't know, but do not have them constantly out there. It just doesn't work. I'm sorry, it's got to go. Something has to be sacrificed in that map, and those are the one thing that I really want sacrificed. So yes, get rid of that. Also, for the end of the Easter egg, make it worthwhile. Give people perks. Give them all the perks. Don't just give them a tower that lights up. Give them a bit more. Make it much better. Anyway, that's my reasons for having that map there. Trust me, it was a difficult one to put in. I almost wanted to put Kino in there instead, or 5, but there are benefits that could really happen there. But anyway, these are the maps that I would like to see come back. I love Ascension. It could benefit from a remake. I'll be here forever if I keep talking about that, and this is going on long enough as it is, this video. Call of the Dead again could benefit a lot. Shangri-La I've gone on about, Moon I've gone on about, Transit I've gone on about, Mob of the Dead I've gone on about, Buried again. There's a lot of different things that you could do for that to make it better. And Origins, again, I've gone on about. And Verux I haven't gone on about, but do I really need to go on about that map? There's a few things you could really benefit from that one. And Revelations, of course, in the corner. Now this is just if they have no scroll bar that apparently you can't have, and they just have it limited to just this screen. So obviously I myself want to see all of the old maps return. That's what I want to see. I want to see every single one come back, and I want to see some benefits. I want to see this page being able to scroll down. I want to see it scroll right down. So, lastly, before I completely end this whole topic and so on, one thing first before I move on to the next one. Revelations itself as a map pack. Could it be that it's just a load of new zombie maps, rather than just one zombie map? It's actually multiple zombie maps that are new. Not old remakes, but all new maps. It's possible. I mean, I would kind of like to see that. That'd be cool. But I doubt it. But that's just me showing something off there. Otherwise, there isn't a lot more that I can really say in regards to this, because there's nothing else I can prove or go on about. But I think that's really all I can say in regards to this whole bringing back old maps to Black Ops 3. Obviously, it'd be good if they kept things like the Easter eggs and actually brought back those achievements and things as well. I think it would really get a lot of zombie players from before, people that used to play zombies, come on to Black Ops 3 again. Even though it's at the end of its life cycle, it'd still bring them back, I reckon, for old time's sake. And, there's just a lot of things that can really benefit from having these maps come back. It's a big change. Lastly, though, the reason I think it's possible that we could get some remakes of old maps, if not all of them, is because of the fact that Treyarch are wrapping up this specific storyline of zombies with Revelations. It's wrapping up the whole of this zombie storyline from Black Ops 1, 2, and 3. And then in their next game, they'll probably start something new with zombies. Or maybe they'll change to something else. I don't know. But it would make sense that they were bringing back their old stories to put into one game on current gen, consoles, so that everybody can play all of the old stuff as well as the new stuff in one game. That would be a clever, sensible move and a good idea. It's possible to do it. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. That's just what I'm going on about. Those are the things that I wanted to see and so on. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think? Do you think this is going to happen? Do you think it's possible that they could bring back the old maps? Do you think it's never ever going to happen? Let me know in the comments section below. And if they do bring back certain maps only, what maps do you want back? What maps do you really want to see return? Which maps do you think benefit from an upgrade on current gen systems with the new Black Ops 3 movement system and all that stuff? Which maps do you think are really going to benefit from that? Tell me. And lastly, don't just say a map just because you obviously love it, but give it a reason for why you want it to come back, not just writing it down and that's it, just because you like the map. Give it a reason for why it should come back. Otherwise, that's all I can say on this topic. I thought it was right to get it out at some point. I mean, it's been lurking around for ages, and I wanted to get my opinions and stuff out for it anyway. Otherwise, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. I really appreciate it. If you're new and you enjoyed this video, then check out the rest of my channel for my other videos. And if you enjoy my content, then feel free to subscribe to keep up to date with the latest videos I bring out. So, yes, I'd like to see what you guys think. I want to see your opinions. I want to see what you really want to come back. And if we get a few people commenting on this, then I might actually do a little poll at the end and put it into a video of the maps that people have voted for, like what they want to come back, and just show what is in demand versus what people really don't care about. So, I want to see these sort of things. It'd be awesome to see what you guys think, not just me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.